Let's create a product detailed page, a page where the product probably is selected from the group of other products. Then you see the page where you can add item, or where you can increase the quantity, and the price is automatically changing, as you can see. So you can see that as I select increase the quantity from 1 to 2 and so on, it changes. Then you can also zoom in, more or less mirror in a certain aspect of the product, as you can see. So you put your mouse, or if you are using a tablet or a touch screen, you touch it and it shows you, just like you can see here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in this video. Then you can also select other area of the product. For example, like in this shoe, you can select the bottom of the shoe to see how it looks like. You can also mirror in, magnify it if you like. So you can see I'm magnifying it, so it's showing very crisply at the other end. So you can change, as you can see. So you can see the various aspects of the product. Okay, so like this. So this is done using JavaScript, CSS, pure JavaScript, what many call vanilla JavaScript. So these are this is the structure of the project. So these are the pictures that are being used. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So let's get right into it. So VS Code is open. Let's put the boilerplate. Then just change the title to reflect what we are working on. So okay, so then have a link to the various files. So have the shortcut icon, then link to that's in line 8 or on line 8, link to the CSS, then we start it. So create the various boxes. So we have a section with several divs within it, then the main image that will show. So as you can see, then we now have a thumbnail. They will have the various pictures within it. So as you can see right here. Okay, so we have 3 pictures or 3 images within that. Okay, so within it, then after we have done that, the next thing we need to do is to create other area. So the place where the output will be. So we have an ID called picture output. They also have the class img, that's image zoom result. So that will be at the right. Then the information about the picture will be there. So as you can see like this. Okay, so I just this the name of the product is Nike Revolution 7. So I just copied from their website. Okay, so just for the purpose of this is actually what I'm working on an e-commerce project. So this is just an excerpt of that. Okay, so so put the button there. So I may just share the complete project when I'm done with that project. All right, so we'll link to the JavaScript we are going to create. Okay, so like that. So this is basically what we have with the HTML. Okay, so that's HTML. So you have the various links here. So you have the various links. There. So now the CSS file is there, the JavaScript is there. They are currently empty. Okay, so that does it as regards the HTML. Okay, so these are the various IDs, the various classes here and there that we have. Right? All right, so so let's see. This is the preview. You can see that nothing much, actually very. Of course, we are going to use. So next is we are going to use CSS to do that. So next is CSS. So on the CSS, just put the various code there. Then the the picture container, to style it to reflect what we want to do. Then the picture div, we have a background linear gradient. Then the session, for it to be very responsive, we don't need to bother about media query, so we'll use display grid. I already have a video on responsive design using grids and using flexbox and the rest. So right, so now this is how it looks like so far. Okay, so let's start the picture area, then the thumbnail. So let's work on the thumbnails. So the pictures that are within the thumbnail, then the images that are there rather. Okay, so it's can also be pictures. Okay, all right. So then we have that. Then nothing fancy so far. So as you can see, so you see that it is properly arranged. That's at the left side. So the main picture and the thumbnails for the one we are going to click on later, and then we show forth at the main area. Okay, so let's work on the product info now. Okay, so let's work on the product info. So the okay, let's just put the hover effect on that. Okay, so like that. All right, so now, so once you have that, then the image zone result is next. So we'll have the various styles, as you can see right here. All right, so okay, then the picture container, then all the picture container, then all the div, all the different size. So then the picture info, then you have a padding of 1.2 am. Then you have the various text within it. That is the product name, the price, and so on. They are there. So this is how, this is the area we are styling that. Okay, so it has to do with styling the right aspect of the project. Okay, so that is for the cost. Then this is for the description. The P tag is for the description. Then the button that you have there. Then the button for increasing and decreasing the quantity that you want to, or the user wants to have. All right, then so just type that. So if you look at it now, you see that it is getting close to what we want. So the button is tiled already. Then what is remaining now is the button for the to add to cart. All right, so the add to cart, then we create the various implementation there. Then the hover effect on it also be done. There's a little issue here. Where is it? Yeah, okay, supposed to be product picture. Supposed to be product info, not picture info. Okay, so you can correct that. All right, so so once you have done that, then so this is basically what you have there. So if you save it, refresh, you see what you have. So the HTML CSS is done. They are done now. So next will be JavaScript. So that's actually the meat of the thing. So if I click on it, it doesn't do anything. So let's look at it again. You can see the various areas, the various styles that you will have in designing it. So I'm just trying to scroll through so that if you're typing it, you can go through it, and you can pause it if it's too fast. Okay, so this is what we have so far. All right, so so next is JavaScript. So next is JavaScript. So let's go and work on that. All right, so we declare the various variables. So the quantity, then the cost, the amount, the BTN plus, BTN minus, thumbnails, replace picture, current picture, picture info, and so on and so forth. So these are just the declaration that we have. Okay, these are pretty straightforward. Okay, so all right, so that is for that one. So those things are those declarations are coming from here. So that's what inform those declarations. As you can see, the BTN minus, BTN plus, then QTY, amount, cost, picture info, all those things, they are coming from the HTML side. So that's why we have it this way. All right, so the next we need to do is to create to make sure that we format the number to have comma at the appropriate place when the number increases to 1000 or 2000, as the case may be, so that we put the comma at the appropriate position. I already have a video on this some time ago. All right, so now I want this video to be short. I don't want it to be up to 18 minutes. All right, so the next thing we want to do is the implementation for the BTN minus and the BTN plus. So we have an event listener on it. Then we'll do the calculation that each time you click on the minus, it will need to reduce until it gets to 1. Once it gets to 1, even if you continue to click on the minus, it wouldn't work. That's why you have that if statement, quantity greater than 1. All right, so the quantity minus continue to reduce the number by 1. They also need to make sure that we don't have unnecessary, we want to round it up. Okay, so for example, the cost could be, let's say, 2001,000, all those kind of things. So we want to round it to 2 decimal places, right? So that's what we have on that one. So let's work on the plus. Okay, so the plus, that's the btn plus, almost the same thing, but the only difference is that this one has quantity plus plus instead of quantity minus minus. All right, so the same thing is what you have, as you can see here. Okay, so all right, so if you go there now, as you can see, so if you click on it, see that it's incrementing, and it's also changing the cost of the item you are selecting. I mean, of the quantity of the item you are selecting. That's based on the cost and the quantity. So the cost of one times the number of quantity. Okay, so that's just the little logic right there. All right, so that settles that area. Okay, so next is to work on the thumbnails. So we need to look for a way to iterate through the thumbnail. That's why we have thumbnails dot for each, then thumbnail dot add event listener. So replace picture, then source of that picture equal to the current thumbnail. Okay, so that's what you have in line 38. So these thumbnails are right there. So those 3 thumbnails, so whichever you click on will replace the current one. Okay, so or the one, whichever you touch. Okay, so that's what you have here. Right? Okay, so let's go there. So you touch it, you can see that it's changing it. Okay, so look at that. You see that it's changing it. All right, so that does that for the thumbnail. So next is to work on the zoom effect or the magnifying effect. So we'll create a function to image zoom, then we put the various then we have a picture ID, then we have output ID. Okay, so we are going to return this one later. All right, then we have the various ones. Then this area from line 53 to line 65 is making sure that that zoom mirror or that magnifying glass will not get out of the picture size, or will not get out of the picture frame, basically. So here we can set in line 67, we set the position of the lens, all right, or that glass we talked about earlier. Okay, set the position. Okay, so also as you can see, all these, so those are just basic if statements to make sure that these things are not out of place. Okay, so that's what we have there. Then in line 72, you can see I put some comment right there. So it's going to output we determine the area to reveal the area of the lens. Okay, so now we need to bring forth we need to invoke the method. Of course, the method is created or a function is created, you have to invoke it before you can use it, or before it can be effective. Okay, so then here we have various the picture, then we insert before, that's why you have the insert the lens, then calculate the ratio between output div and the lens. So you can also see that you have in line 78 we create the lens right there. After creating the length, we insert the length, then we now calculate the ratio. Okay, so that's what you have there. All right, then the way the mouse moves. Okay, well, that's what you have in line 92 and line 93. So the way the mouse moves. So the lens has an action listener. Then you also have, an event listener. Or thinking of Java, this is JavaScript. So then you also have the picture has an event listener too. Talking about mouse move, as you move around, so it shows, you see where it's going and all that. So then you also have that we calculate the x and y coordinates of the cursor as related to the picture. So as you can see as I move around, look at that. It doesn't have any effect yet anyway, because we have not applied it. So you can see how it moves. Have a little shadow right there, so to properly give you a proper perspective of how it is. All right, so let's conclude this. All right, so not to conclude, we just say the current picture, which is the one that is in the the view, the frame. Then you have event listener on it. Then mouse enter. As soon as you enter into that picture, then the lens.style should be display block. Then the picture.style, picture info.style should be display not. That is the content that is at the right. That is the name. So we want it to be want it to disappear. Okay, why this one replaces it basically. All right, so that's basically what you have there. So as you can see, it does it very well. But as I go out, it doesn't go away. So it needs to go away. So by using this, almost the same thing that then instead of a display block, we say display no. That is lens will display no. The product info style dot display will block. That is when you're out of it. Then the output dot style the background image should not be displayed. Okay, so that's basically what we have here talking about. I can magnify. So as you can see that as I'm out of the loop, of the frame, so it disappears. So as you can see right there, so you can see that everything works nicely. Okay, if you want this project, I can actually the code, I can actually send it to you, but we have to, it could just be have some little condition right there. But let's see, it depends on what happens. So you could just have it for free. But then if you also I will encourage that you guys join our community so that we can have free source code, something like this. So it's also very responsive, as you can see. So this is how it is done. I hope this helps. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so already. Like the video, share it, and comment if you have to. Thank you for watching, and see you in another video.